Using primary sources in the history classroom. Unit 6. Using visual sources. The other 5 units in this course have focused on skills students need to interpret all sorts of primary sources. In this presentation, we'll focus on unique challenges posed by visual sources. On the left is the source for our warm-up activity for the unit. What do students need to do to make historical sense out of it? Many of the skills used to interpret all primary sources are needed to make sense out of visual sources as well. Here are the 5 key skills we've stressed throughout this entire course on using primary sources. These 5 skills are important. However, visual sources present other unique challenges of their own. We'll examine some of these challenges in this presentation. We often tend to see a visual image as a kind of window into the world. But visuals do not simply show us reality itself. They show us a carefully arranged or constructed version of reality. Students need to keep this fact clearly in mind when using any visual source. Take this illustration from the warm-up activity. Notice all the ways it is carefully composed to achieve a specific effect. The points on the left here suggest some of the ways it achieves this effect. The result is a very positive depiction, both of America and of the newcomers, eager to make it their own land. Or take this photo by Louis Hines, which he took to further the campaign against child labor. The photo shows 2 young child workers precariously balanced on the textile machinery they are maintaining. That photo angle and composition stress the massive machinery and drab factory setting. These contents of the photo are all real, obviously, but they are also composed in the photo in such a way as to dramatize the problem of child labor. In other words, images are interpretations of reality, not reality itself. Students need to analyze visuals with this idea in mind. This includes even very realistic photos, such as the ones Hines took, as well as drawings, paintings, cartoons, poster art, and many other visuals. Visual images communicate through form as well as content. By form, we mean all the ways an image is arranged to achieve an effect. Take this illustration of the 54th Massachusetts Regiment, for example. It depicts this all-black Civil War regiment attacking Fort Wagner in the port of Charleston, South Carolina. Led by Colonel Robert Gould Shaw, some 281 of the 600 soldiers were killed, wounded, or captured in this assault. Notice how the formal features of the image all help to build a picture of a noble regiment fighting bravely for the Union. The points here on the left all indicate how a visual can convey a powerful message, not merely by what it shows, but by how it shows it. Metaphor and myth also can add power and meaning to visual images. This painting is titled American Progress. The idea of progress takes the form of a huge, ghostly female figure. She is a metaphor for the nation as a whole in its relentless westward advance. Such a visual feature can provoke a powerful emotional response to what would otherwise be a far more abstract idea. This mythic female figure presides over a vision of American progress made vivid by many symbols and other visual features. Some of these features are described in more detail in the text on the left. Myth and symbols are also key features of many political cartoons. Here, the financier J.P. Morgan is the Pied Piper. The cartoon uses the Pied Piper story as a metaphor for powerful business figures leading gullible people astray. A visual metaphor like this packs a lot of meaning that words alone would not easily convey. Visual images are capable of having a powerful emotional impact. How much of the horror of Nazi tyranny is conveyed by this photograph of one woman trying desperately but failing to hide her true feelings about the takeover of her country? Students need to keep in mind that visual images can be useful, but they can also be misused. For example, think about the way each of these visuals captures a complex reality in a single dramatic image. Both of these images are selective in what they include and what they leave out. Historians might agree that the breadline captures the reality of the Great Depression fairly, but many would not accept Paul Revere's version of the Boston Massacre as accurate. The point is that both images are powerful in their impact. They can shape the way we see or think about events, either accurately or not. To sum up, here are some key aspects of visual images your students need to keep in mind. These are the main ideas we've touched on in this presentation. Also, keep in mind the other skills we've stressed throughout this course. Hopefully, they'll help you in using primary source documents in your classroom.